Hey, this is Yampa from Tampa, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the National Sports Card Convention that I went to this year. It's the 5th year in a row that I've gone. Going to go again next year. Probably not to Detroit, but let me tell you how this year went. First off, I flew from Tampa to Peoria, met my son. We drove up on Wednesday. A lot of construction, a lot of tolls, a lot of detours, kind of a mess getting up there. 3-hour drive, 3 hours back, 5 hours at the show. But one of the reasons we go on Wednesday is because free t-shirts. You go to the Whatnot area and you can enter, you can scan, you can load different things, and you get tons of wonderful t-shirts. And I wear these all year long. I love their t-shirts, great deal. Also had a chance to go buy Real Sports Cards. I'll give a shout out to them. They had little discs that you could drop in the machine. It would hit the nails and go in. If you got 3 in the 20 slot, you got $100. I won, I got 3. So I used half of it for a break. I got into the 26 Topps tribute break. I got a Chandler Simpson autograph and an Evan Longoria tribute autograph. Not bad, for free. So dealers were super expensive, and people have said $130. I don't even know. I thought it was more ridiculous than that. I know that we went through a lot of booths and prices were just crazy, just insane. Everybody's looking for Ohtani. Everybody's looking for Jordan inserts. LeBron, Kobe. A few years ago it was downtowns. Now it's isolated to those players basically, and they were outrageous. I know I went by one booth. There was no LeBron card at that booth for under $1,000, and all the autographs start at $25,000. That's ridiculous pricing, but I guess that's what you come to expect at the National. So I didn't buy very much, but let me tell you about some of the things I did buy. On the first day, I found a Joe Morgan autograph baseball. I was looking for Joe Morgan and Albert Pujols. It was $125. Look up on eBay, $80. Come on, $125, won't budge. So I go around, I find another booth. The guy's got it for $85 and it's certified and it's a nice signature. I say, well, I might as well buy it. I've got it. It's now mine. 2 rows down, about 10 minutes later, I find another Joe Morgan autograph ball for $60. JSA authenticated, really nice ball. So now I have them both. Finally, I found an Albert Pujols ball, and this was still on Wednesday. And this one, he wanted $375. It's certified by the Albert Pujols Foundation. He sold it to me for $275. It's a 600 home run ball and a very nice signature. He actually knew Albert Pujols, but you know what? He wasn't a dealer. He was an individual who had a booth, and that made a big difference. I also went looking for the Cardsmith booth. I found the guys there. $50, you get a nice pack. It could have a Bitcoin in it. Probably gonna open it later today and see. And it's got 2 promotional cards. So I thought that was pretty cool. I opened a pack that I got free, and I got a Saquon Barkley card out of $275. I thought that was pretty nice. So on Wednesday, we came home. I came back Saturday. And again, knowing that everything was so super expensive, we found one dealer who worked with me on 1964 All-Star coins. Now, one is a Willie Mays and one is a Roberto Clemente. They're both graded 6. Really nice coins. He worked with me, but there's very few of those. I think they're really a nice collectible item. I'm trying to pick them up in 6 or better. And so I found a couple of them there. One thing I will say about Wednesday is we tried to drop off some magazines, and the PSA magazines, and the line was so long we didn't even mess with it. So we brought them back in on Sunday morning. We were first in line, and a guy named Matthew helped me get my order together. I think these PSA magazines are something of the future. I picked up a LeBron James. It's numbered out of 1,000, and we'll see how I did on the ones that I had graded, but I think these are beautiful to put in rooms and great investments. One thing I will say about the entry is, I was a vet, so I got to skip all the lines. I got to go to the information booth. They checked my ID, they gave me a wristband and put me in. On the last day, I said, hey, do you have any of those early entry passes that I can have just as a souvenir? And they did, they gave me one. And I thought that was pretty cool. So it did, of course, didn't do any good because all the early entry was gone. So one of the reasons we went up Saturday so we could go to the trade night. Now last year, most of the cards I bought at the trade night because prices were better and people dealt more. Not this time. The items on the trade night were more expensive than the items on the floor. I had one guy tell me, I bought this on the floor earlier today. I marked it up 10%. That's what I'm going to sell it for. This was like 50% over comps. Crazy, just plain crazy. So you'd have so many people out there and just outrageous prices. You'd have 14-year-olds with $100,000 worth of cards. I do think there might be a bubble. There might be a bubble in that area. So time will tell. On Sunday, I did find one more dealer. I went to a vintage dealer and I found Beetle cards. I grew up with these in the 60s and I felt really fortunate to pick up 28 Beetle cards for $14. I thought that was a pretty good deal. They're all in pretty good shape and who knows, maybe I'll keep them, maybe I'll sell them. We'll see what happens. So overall, would I go back again next year? Absolutely. Would I go 5 days? 5 days is a lot of time to be on the floor. Maybe a little too much time. There's so many people. It's so crowded. Upstairs was so crowded. Come on. I thought they would learn from last year. The aisles were too packed. Expand that area out. There's plenty of room up there. And when you look at how many rooms they're already taking up downstairs, I got lost trying to figure out where dealers were because I couldn't figure out where all 5 rooms, 6 rooms were. There's so many displays, so many dealers, so much stuff. But I would recommend upstairs that they expand that out a little bit. All right, so those are my thoughts on the Nationals. If you have any additions you want to add, just put it down at the bottom, and thanks for your time.